Council, I'm proud to stand before you on this virtual stage for this year's India's Idea Summit and 45th annual meeting, Building a Better Future. And what a fantastic 2 days it has been. A lot of thanks to Nisha and the entire USIBC and Chamber teams that have put this together. We would have liked to be with you in person, celebrating this 45th anniversary of the USIBC, but of course, the COVID pandemic has disrupted those plans. But those of you who are members of the USIBC know that when the pandemic forced us to stop flying, USIBC went to work, working with companies, governments, local officials to help make sure that businesses were able to keep operating and goods were kept flowing. I'm very proud of what the Council has accomplished in this year in the midst of this pandemic. As John F. Kennedy once said, change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future. The Council you see today didn't come into being overnight. It was decades in the making, and the Council grew in importance and impact as relationships between our two countries grew. The year was 1975. General Ford was the President of the United States, and Indira Gandhi was Prime Minister of India. In the US that year, US unemployment rate was 9.2%, very similar to what it is today, and officially entered a recession. The Vietnam War was nearing its conclusion, and Americans, wary of Watergate and war, turned to see Muhammad Ali defeat Joe Frazier to claim the World Heavyweight Championship in the Thriller of Manila. In India, ISRO launched its first satellite. Indira Gandhi declared the state of emergency, and the Sino-India border saw a skirmish that resulted in the last casualties between the two sides for 45 years. In October of that year, the US Chamber of Commerce and the Federation of the India Chamber of Commerce and Industry, working at the behest of Secretary of State Henry Kissinger and Minister Sarwan Singh, agreed to establish the US-India Business Council as part of the US Chamber. Back then, both countries were grappling with challenges of their own, yet the vision was already there that we would only grow in importance to each other. In the years since, we have seen this strategic partnership blossom and trade relationships grow. As trade between the two nations increased, India's poverty levels fell significantly. Over the last decade, an estimated 271 million people, Indian citizens, were lifted out of poverty in India as bilateral trade surged from 16 billion to over $140 billion that it is today, a number that could frankly grow to 250 billion by 2025. And frankly, that's what excites me the most. Despite all the challenges we are faced with, I believe India and the United States share a common trait. We are filled with hope and entrepreneurship and looking ahead to an even brighter future. The US-India relationship reminds me of a plot of a Hindi movie, Ram or Sham, that was released in 1967. I'm kind of dating myself. It was about two brothers who were separated from each other in childhood, only to be reunited later in life. I see parallels with India and the United States. There are many parallels here that are much broader than the trade relationships. We have an incredible partnership between the world's largest democracy and the oldest democracy. And today, the globe is increasingly looking to us to model the very best of those democratic underpinnings while demonstrating true leadership during these difficult times. The path has not always been easy. But throughout these 45 years, the relationship between our governments, our businesses, and our citizens has only grown deeper. I stand before you as a product of this relationship and a champion of it as well. The US Chamber and the US India Business Council can be proud that though it was birthed in these brutal, turbulent times, it has grown into a powerful platform to advance one of the most consequential relationships in the geopolitical world. Today, the US India Business Council has over 250 members from the United States and India. Leaders in technology, energy, finance, defense, healthcare, and many others. You've heard many of them between yesterday and today. US companies are investing in India, making in India, and selling to India. And in many instances, a number of Indian companies are investing in the United States and creating jobs right here. No one has done more to advance the US-India relationship than the current Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi. Working with the Obama administration and now President Trump, Prime Minister Modi has, in his own words, challenged us to, quote, overcome the hesitation of history, unquote, and bring forth a new era of partnership and cooperation between our two nations. Honorable Prime Minister, while I'm happy that our commercial and strategic relationships have grown so significantly over the past 45 years, we still have unrealized potential. Our two countries must work together to further reduce regulations and promote ease of doing business. We urge your government's support in making significant labor and land reforms in order for companies who are diversifying their supply chains and de-risking from other Asian markets to look at India first. We urge both the United States and India to create policies that allow our peoples to continue to take part and strengthen our economies, including the free movement of people and services across borders. And our bonds must solidify and strengthen as we see threats around the world that may undermine our democracies, weaken our civil societies, and threaten our ability to collectively come out of this stronger. We must step forward together to resist these challenges. Mr. Prime Minister, we are also seeing warning signs from both governments that turn away from collaboration and instead emphasize inward reliance. We cannot overcome this pandemic by going at it alone. We must trust our friends and deepen our bonds to ensure our collective visions are realized together. And so we are grateful that we have a true leader and a visionary like Prime Minister Modi to take us forward in these challenging times. Prime Minister Modi rose from the ranks of a son of a tea seller to the ranks of being a prime minister by his vision and determination that India and her peoples can do better and build a better future. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege and honor to welcome the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi.
Namaste, business leaders, distinguished guests. I thank the US India Business Council for inviting me to address the India Ideas Summit. I also congratulate the USIBC on its 45th anniversary this year. Over the past decades, the USIBC has brought Indian and American business closer. USIBC's choice of this year's Idea Summit, Building a Better Future, is also very, very relevant. Friends, we all agree that the world is in need for a better future, and it is all of us who have to collectively give shape to the future. I firmly believe that our approach to the future must primarily be a more human centric one. Our growth agenda must place the poor and vulnerable at the core. Ease of living is as important as ease of business. Friends, recent experience has taught us that the global economy has been too focused on efficiency and optimization. Efficiency is a good thing, but on the way we forgot to focus on something equally important, that is resilience against external shocks. It has taken a global pandemic to remind us how important resilience is. Friends, global economic resilience can be achieved by stronger domestic economic capacities. This means improved domestic capacity for manufacturing, restoring the health of the financial system, and diversification of international trade. Friends, India is contributing towards a prosperous and resilient world through the clarion call of an Atmanirbhar Bharat. And for that, we await your partnership. Friends, today there is global optimism towards India. This is because India offers a perfect combination of openness, opportunities, and options. Let me elaborate. India celebrates openness in people and in governance. Open minds make open markets. Open markets lead to greater prosperity. These are principles on which both India and the USA agree. Friends, during the last 6 years, we have made many efforts to make our economy more open and reform oriented. Reforms have ensured increased competitiveness, enhanced transparency, expand digitization, greater innovation, and more policy stability. Friends, India is emerging as a land of opportunities. Let me give you one example of the tech sector. Recently, an interesting report came out in India. It said, for the first time ever, there are more rural internet users than even urban internet users. Imagine the scale. There are about 500 million active internet users in India now. half a billion connected people. Does this sound huge to you? Hold your breath, because there are over half a billion more people who are being connected. Opportunities in technology also include opportunities in frontier technologies of 5G, big data analytics, quantum computing, blockchain, and Internet of Things. Friends, the options to invest in India are extensive. India invites you to invest in the hard work of our farmers. India has done historic reforms in the agriculture sector recently. There are investment opportunities in agriculture inputs and machinery, agriculture supply chain management, ready to eat items, fisheries, and organic produce. India's food processing sector is expected to be worth over $500 billion by 2025. To grow more streams of revenue, the best time to tap investment opportunities in Indian agriculture sector is now. India invites you to invest in healthcare. The healthcare sector in India is growing faster than 22% every year. Our companies are also progressing in production of medical technology, telemedicine, and diagnostics. India and the US have already built a robust partnership in the pharma sector. To achieve scale and speed, now is the best time to expand your investment in Indian healthcare sector. India invites you to invest in energy. As India evolves into a gas-based economy, there will be big investment opportunities for US companies. There are also big opportunities in the clean energy sector. To generate more power for your investment, this is the best time to enter the Indian power sector. India invites you to invest in infrastructure. Our nation is witnessing the largest infrastructure creation drive in our history. Come, be a partner in building housing for millions, or building roads, highways, and ports in our nation. Civil aviation is another area of great potential growth. The number of air passengers are expected to more than double within next 8 years. The top private Indian airlines plan to include over 1,000 new aircraft over the coming decade. This is a huge opportunity for any investor who chooses to set up manufacturing facilities in India, which can become a base for supplying regional markets. A similar case is obvious for setting up maintenance, repair, and operation facilities. To give flight to your aviation targets, this is an ideal time to invest in the Indian aviation sector. India invites you to invest in defense and space. We are raising the FDI cap for investment in defense sector to 74%. India has established 2 defense corridors to encourage production of defense equipment and platforms. We offer special incentives for private and foreign investors. A few weeks ago, we cleared path-breaking reforms in the space sector. Come, be a part of these upcoming sectors. India invites you to invest in finance and insurance. India has raised FDI cap for investment in insurance to 49%. Now, 100% FDI is permitted for investment in insurance intermediaries. The insurance market in India is growing at a rate of more than 12% and is expected to grow to $250 billion by 2025. With the success of Ayushman Bharat, our health assurance scheme, PM Fasal Bima Yojana, our crop insurance scheme, and Jan Suraksha, or social security schemes, the government has laid the ground for quick adoption and acceptance of insurance products. There are large untapped opportunities for increasing insurance cover in health, agriculture, business, and life insurance. To generate long-term and assured revenues, the Indian insurance sector is one of the best investment options right now. I have given you a few options, and that too without any consultancy fees. Friends, when the markets are open, when the opportunity is high and the options are many, can optimism be far behind? You can see the optimism when India rise in key business ratings, particularly the ease of doing business rating of the World Bank. Investment is the best show of confidence. Every year, we are reaching record highs in FDI. Each year is significantly higher than the earlier one. FDI inflows in India in 2019-20 were $74 billion. This is an increase of 20% from the year before that. Friends, in USIBC, informed that pledged investment from the US has already crossed $40 billion this year. Also, see what has happened even during the ongoing pandemic. In the middle of COVID, India has attracted foreign investment of more than $20 billion between April and July 2020. But India offers many more opportunities. We have what is needed to power the global economic recovery. Friends, the rise of India means a rise in trade opportunities with a nation that you can trust, a rise in global integration with increasing openness, a rise in your competitiveness with access to a market which offers scale, and a rise in your returns on investment with availability of skilled human resources. Friends, for this vision, there are few better partners than the United States of America. India and the USA are two vibrant democracies with shared values. We are natural partners. Thus, US-India friendship has scaled many heights in the past. Now it is time our partnership plays an important role in helping the world bounce back faster after the pandemic. American investors often look out for the perfect timing to enter a sector or a country. To them, I would like to say there has never been a better time to invest in India. I once again thank the USIBC leadership for the commitment to advancing India US economic partnership. May the USIBC keep scaling new heights. May the India America friendship grow further. Namaste. Thank you.